Have you ever heard of the guy who was born with 4 eyes? And what about the woman with the world's biggest hands? Or the man who literally broke all the records? What all these people have in common is they surprise the entire planet. They're definitely worth seeing. This is Infinity, and in this episode I'll show you the most unusual and unique people who have amazed the whole world. Let's go. The word four-eyed usually means a person who wears glasses. However, there are unusual people in the world who can be called four-eyed in the truest sense. And Pavel Korsygin from Kumarevo Oblast, Russia, is one of them. He was literally born with 4 eyes. In addition to the usual pair of eyes, he had extra eyelids and eye slits. The doctors who examined him also discovered that the child had 2 pairs of veins, and the hair on his head was of 2 colors, white and red. It soon became clear that Paul had 2 pairs not only of eyes, but many other organs as well. In all likelihood, he was fused with his twin in the womb, which led to these results and transformations in appearance. Such a feature may seem not only unusual, but also cool, but in fact, there's nothing good about it. From birth, Pavel was completely blind. Fortunately, the guy got help. After undergoing many complicated surgeries, he started to see a little and even managed to go to school. You've probably heard of tongue splitting, a procedure in which the tongue is cut open under local anesthesia, leaving a person with a split tongue, like a snake's one. You can say in the end of the procedure a person is left with 2 tongues. But sometimes nature itself gives a person 2 tongues. For example, not so long ago, a girl was born in the UK who immediately struck scientists. She was born with 2 mouths and 2 tongues. Examination of the girl after birth showed that her second mouth was about 1 centimeter in size, with a miniature jaw, uncut teeth, and rudimentary tongue that repeated the movement of the main tongue. Scientists considered the cause of the anomaly to be a rare developmental defect, causing the repetition of craniofacial structures. Fortunately, this story ended well. When the girl was 6 months old, she had a surgery. Doctors removed the extra mouth. The stitches soon healed, and now the child is safe. Extra tongues? Check. Extra eyes? Check. But what about some extra limbs? Can a person have them? Sure they can. And some of these unique people are particularly striking. The case of Deepak Paswan is especially striking. Born in India at the beginning of the 21st century, this guy amazed all the doctors by having extra legs and arms growing out of his chest. As it turned out, the cause was the fusion with a twin that had not had time to develop in the womb. On the one hand, the rare congenital anomaly made Deepak famous from birth. Local Hindu pilgrims began visiting the Paswan family home to worship the child. They regarded Deepak as an incarnation of the god Vishnu, who is usually depicted with extra limbs. But on the other hand, the extra limbs made life very difficult for the boy. The constant attention from people, taunts, difficulties in development, and discomfort in sleeping, all this accompanied Deepak for many years. Fortunately, this all ended in 2010 when a charity hospital in Bangalore agreed to carry out an expensive surgery free of charge. The surgeon successfully removed the extra limbs from Deepak's chest, and he was given a chance to live a normal life. Some people have extra limbs, while others have abnormally huge limbs. Stay tuned for more details and to see other extraordinary people who have amazed the whole world. The world became aware of a young man from China named Liu Hua because of an illness that caused him a lot of inconvenience. Liu was born with an injury to his left limb, as a result of which it began to grow very large and reached an incredible size. According to scientists, Liu was subjected to local gigantism, a disease in which not the entire body increases, but only some part of it. Local gigantism has led to the fact that Liu's left hand has grown to insane size. It weighed 10 kilograms. In addition, the length of the fingers of the huge hand was different. Liu's thumb reached 26 centimeters in length, the index finger reached 30 centimeters, and the middle finger reached 15 centimeters, while the other fingers were normal size. Liu Hua's left hand was acknowledged to be the largest in the world, but it was not a particularly pleasing record, for it was incredibly difficult to live with such a limb. Although a few years ago, doctors performed a surgery and reduced Liu's hand, the resident of China still can't use his limb fully. A woman named Downjai Samaksamam is even less fortunate. While Liu Hua only had a huge left hand, this Thai native has both limbs of gigantic size. It's hard to believe, but the total weight of the woman's hands is almost 100 kilograms. Downjai's case could be explained by local gigantism, but scientists believe that it's something called elephantiasis. It's a disorder that manifests itself in a persistent increase in the size of a body part of the body due to the overgrowth of skin and subcutaneous tissue. The result of this disease is the transformation of human limbs into elephant-like limbs. Usually, the disease affects only the fingers or hands, but Downjai's case is more unique. The woman's limbs are affected completely from her fingers to her shoulders. According to scientists, this is the only case in the world, making the Thai resident extremely unusual. Unfortunately, there's no proper treatment for such an anomaly. As scientists say, there's only one way to resolve the problem, and this is amputation. But Dang Zhai doesn't want that. The woman's already used to her giant limbs and has fully mastered them, so much so that she even runs a business. Dang Zhai has her own store, which she successfully manages. This 49-year-old American from Los Angeles amazed the world with her wide and voluminous thighs. They're 2.4 meters in circumference. That's about 3 times the normal size. At the same time, it's surprising that Mikkel's waist is only 102 centimeters in circumference. She has the height of 164 centimeters and weighs about 190 kilograms. This body peculiarity could be explained by local gigantism, which I've already mentioned, but it has nothing to do with that. Mikkel did not develop this aspect of her body at an early stage. She was an ordinary girl until the age of 22, and that changed after she had her first child. Mikkel gained 25 kilos in a short period of time. She gave birth to 3 more children, and her weight continued to grow. Especially her thighs became bigger and bigger. According to scientists, after giving birth, Mikkel developed lipedema, a disease characterized by an abnormal distribution of fatty tissue. I think with such big hips, Mikkel can't boast good stretching, but you can't say that about Julia Gunthal from Russia. It's nothing for her to reach to the floor or to do a split. It's even nothing for her to curl up into something completely unbelievable. This girl amazes with her flexibility. It's as if Julia was born without bones. She bends and stretches as if the laws of physics don't apply to her. Julia's flexibility is caused by a serious tendon disease, which has given her a special plasticity of the body since childhood. And of course, her flexibility is a result of persistent training as well. All this has borne fruit. Now Julia is considered the most flexible girl in the world. She's able to bend herself almost in half with her arms around her legs. She can get into a 50-centimeter box and can even get into lots of pieces of furniture. Julia is a double Guinness World Record holder, as well as the bearer of the resounding nickname Snake Woman. Bending herself in half is a trifle for Julia Gunthal. As for Ashrita Furman, setting a record is a trifle for him. Gunthal has twice been in the Guinness Book, but Furman has been there over 600 times. That's the truth. Ashrita can be called a record breaker, record holder, because records are literally the meaning of life for this American. 67-year-old Ashrita has been breaking and setting records since 1979. He's set records on every continent and in a variety of disciplines. Today, Ashrita might be in the Guinness Book for tossing a ping pong ball with a racket for 3 hours straight, and tomorrow he might be in the Guinness Book for the longest distance walked at the Egyptian pyramids while balancing a billiard keel on his arm. He broke all kinds of records. It's easier to name the ones that Ashrita has not yet broken or set. According to the American himself, by his example, he wants to show the whole world that opportunities and abilities of a man are limitless. Well, he's very good at it. That's all, guys. What person from this video impressed you the most? Let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching, and see you later.